This is the new Nissan Juke, and it's a little bit like The Empire Strikes Back. You see, the original Juke was like Star Wars. The original, groundbreaking, but ultimately a little bit rubbish. Whereas this one, more grown up, smarter, and overall a lot better. Most people are going to prefer this one. Now, you're probably considering the new Juke if you're also looking at a Renault Captur, Volkswagen T-Cross, maybe a Peugeot 2008. And the Juke starts from just over £17,000. There you can save an average of £2,000 almost through CarWow. And if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can go to CarWow to see how much you can save on a new car. The link will take you directly there, and you can do things like look at car reviews, compare offers. It's your all-purpose car comparison website. Or if you don't want to do that now, then just later on go on Google and Google CarWow, and I'll see you over there on the site. Let's start this review by talking about the Juke's design. Now, a lot of small SUVs can look a little bit meh. And SUVs are supposed to be all about the presence, and the new Juke has lots of presence. The shape of the lights, this back end, the spoiler, the haunches, the curves, the sloping roof line, blacked out windows, the location of the handles there. It's got character and it's got style. I really do like the look of it. Now, the front is a little bit more polarizing maybe. Some people don't like it, but I do. These very thin daytime running lights, headlamps in there. Actually, when they're turned on, they look awesome. You'll see that later in the video. And the grille, I like it. I like it all. I think they've done a fabulous job designing this car. Real good looker. There's only one thing that I'm going to complain about. I'm going to use the CarWow stick of truth, and it's for this vent. It's fake. That is my only complaint about the look of this car. It's a good looking little SUV. Here on the inside, the new Juke is much improved over the old one. In fact, I really like it. The shape of the dash is really cool. The way you've got these jet engine style air vents, they look nice. There's lots of shiny bits about the place. Quality is a bit weird in some places. So scratchy on there, scratchy lower down, but then you get this fabric here on the armrest and here on the dash on all models. So the type of fabric you get does change depending on which version you go for. This adds a touch of class, and it all feels pretty solid and well built, and it looks super cool. The only thing that's a bit weird is that on the entry level cars you don't get a central armrest, which is a bit annoying. And that brings you onto this car's equipment list. The entry-level model is called the Vizier, and it has LED headlights, cruise control, lane departure warning, and lane keeping assist to help steer you back in lane if you start to weave about. However, it has a very basic monochrome infotainment system, which is best described as crap. The next level up is the Ascenter, and then you get an infotainment screen that, look, it has colours. Colours! Look how glorious it is to have colours! It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you can just run all your phone systems through it. And there's a reversing camera. Yay! Though the definition is a bit poor. The next level up is the N connector, and I think it's the pick of the range because it has some key items such as leather for the steering wheel and gear knob. And these are things you touch a lot, so that's important. You also get built-in sat-nav, though you don't really need it because obviously you're going to be using Google Maps for your phone. Though you do get a little digital driver's display between the main dials. Climate control, so you can set the exact temperature, and keyless entry, can lose those keys. Then we come to the Techno, which has some cool bits of kit, such as faux leather seats, which do feel nice. These excellent speakers in the headrest for brilliant audio quality. It also gets Nissan Safety Shield, which basically includes loads and loads of different safety systems, which is really impressive, and a 360-degree camera so you can look all the way around the car. Plus heated seats, and importantly, a heated windscreen, so there's no scraping on frosty days. That's brilliant, that feature. Use it this morning. Finally, there's the Techno Plus, which includes lots of different personalisation options, such as exterior paint and these interior bits that you can change the colour of to make it a little bit more lively. Let's continue this review by talking about the infotainment system. So it's all right. You've got the shortcut buttons to quickly move between different functions, and it's nice that they're physical, so they're easy to prod while you're driving. The display, though, is a little bit washed out. The graphics on that sharp. It's not the nicest to look at, but once again, it's okay. The inbuilt satellite navigation system is pretty easy to program, and of course you can put in waypoints. Thing is though, you're just going to plug in your smartphone and use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay because it's just better, so it's almost irrelevant. Moving on to the little digital screen you get between the dials on this particular car, Once again, it's okay, and you can scroll through different things using the steering wheel controls, and there's quite a bit of information, but it's not as good as the full digital displays that you get in something like a VW T-Cross. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there. Anyway, let's move on to connectivity. So, look, we've got a USB input there and an old-fashioned aux input. Who uses those anymore? Then there is a 12-volt socket there, which is handy if you've got some kind of old thing that you need to charge. Then under here, I was expecting to find more, and I found nothing but a very small hole. That is pointless. Also, the glove box isn't great either. It's basically filled up by the manual, even though it takes up quite a lot of space in the dash. There is the perfect place there though for your mobile phone. It even fits the larger mobile phones, as you can see there. You can even fit larger bottles in there if you want to. In fact, the cabin on this car is pretty well thought out. Everything's in easy reach, it's in a logical position, and I like the fact that you have this divider between you and the passenger. It makes the car feel sporty. Also, the gear selector is just at the right height. And then there's this. In the old Juke, you can move the steering wheel up and down, but not in and out, but you can now, and there's enough adjustment in the seat as well, so it doesn't matter if you're big or tall. In fact, you can jack this seat up quite high, so for a small SUV, because it rides quite high in the first place, you feel like you're, yes, I'm properly up high. I am definitely superior to other road users, and of course, that is really important if you're buying an SUV. That's what most owners are looking for. Okay, let's talk about the back seats. First thing, the door handles, like the look of them, but yeah, do you open them like that? Do you open it like that? All feels a bit unnatural, and if you've got small children, they're going to be like, Mummy, I can't get in. So you're going to have to open the door for them, like they're blooming royalty. Anyway, once you're in, space back here is better than the old Juke, but that's not saying much because that was really cramped in the back. So, that seat is in my usual driving position. I am 179 centimetres tall. Knee room is okay. Headroom, if I sit up dead straight, my head's almost touching the roof. People over 6 foot will struggle back here, believe me. But how big a person do you need to carry? It might be just about doable. It's not doable with 3 people in the back at once. Even though this middle seat's all right on its own and there's quite a lot of foot space, the body's quite narrow, so it feels like a squeeze, and the people on the outside get pushed out to this curved roof line here, so they'll be banging their head off it. They will not enjoy it at all. Also, I don't think kids will particularly like the fact that the rear windows are small, so they're not going to get a good view out, though they'll probably just be using the iPads. But then they'll find the fact that there is only one USB charging point here in the back, which is annoying, and you only get it on higher trim cars, so you don't get it on entry-level cars, which means if they run out of blooming iPad battery, there's going to be absolute chaos. Now, if the kids are really small, you're going to fit them in a baby seat, lock them down, shut them up. They can't do anything. You've got Isofix anchor points, which are very easy to get to, and I like the fact the covers are flip up, so you don't lose them like the removable ones you get. The only problem is that if you want to fit one of those bulky rear-facing seats, you really do have to move the front passenger seat forward to get it in, and there is no way that you can fit a person between 2 fitted seats, once again, because the body is quite narrow. However, on high spec cars, you do have Isofix anchor points on the front passenger seat, so you could use that to free up space. Wait a minute, there's no rear armrest. That's a bit annoying, though there are some other practical elements which do make up for it. So, door bins, decent size in the back, and you do have these big pockets as well for stuff, and a pointless area down here as well. I like a pointless area, yeah, and the Juke has one. Overall though, this car is not as good in the back seats as something like a Skoda Kamiq, and if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can see my review of that very car. Anyway, let's go to the boot. The load capacity of the Juke is 422 litres, which is 22 litres bigger than the Skoda Kamiq, so there, Skoda. Now, you'll see there's a big lip here, which is quite annoying, isn't it? When you're having to remove your Yuletide log. Oh, I've just hurt my back, people. And then it's doubly annoying when you fold down the seats and go, oh crap, look at that huge ledge. That's very annoying. How am I going to slide things to the front of the car? Oh, don't worry, look, of course you can get an adjustable false floor. Then all those problems are gone. Look, flat low bed and high leaning load lip to lift things over. So what can you carry in the Juke? With the seats folded down like this, you can fit in 2 large boxes, 10 small boxes, a large suitcase, a small suitcase and a soft bag. Then with the seats up, you can fit 2 large suitcases, a small suitcase and a soft bag, or a large suitcase and a pushchair, or large suitcase and a set of golf clubs beneath the low cover, and that's all pretty decent. What's less decent is the fact there's hardly any functionality in this boot. So no 12-volt socket, hardly any tether points. In fact, all the tethering that you can do is on these weird things here, and I'm not sure they're in a very good location. That's annoying. And that brings me on actually to 5 other annoying things about the Nissan Juke. The design of these air vents may look cool, but if you have the blow on high and then you start to shut off some of the vents, more air goes through a single vent, and then it starts making, can you hear it? Quite a whistly noise. Can you hear that now? And if I turn this one as well and leave it through just one vent, that is so annoying. This little 3-cylinder engine absolutely vibrates like crazy. It's almost like it's not secure properly in the engine bay. And you sort of feel that when you're stood at lights and the engine's still running, or when you first start it, especially in the morning and the engine's cold. I mean, look at this. It's like we're experiencing an earthquake. The seatbelts snag when you fold down the rear seats. Look at this. So they snag on the chair. And when you put it back, that can happen. So, oh, that's annoying. But look, oh, Nissan have given you these handy holders for the seatbelt. So let's try that out. I'm sure that's a perfect solution, isn't it? So whack that in there. Looks great, doesn't it? Fold it down. Oh, good. What a load of crap. These wide one-piece seats means that you don't get a good view forward if you're sat in the back, so you're gonna have to like look round. Now they do have a little porthole there, but that's pretty blooming useless if someone's sat in front of you, isn't it? These alloy wheels look super cool, don't they? However, if you have the entry-level car, it comes with steel wheels, even though the starting price is 17 grand. It's supposed to be 2020, not 1990. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. You get auto emergency braking as standard, which can spot pedestrians, but also cyclists, which is quite a new thing, by the way. The Nissan Juke works with Google Assistant, so you can actually use it as a paired device through Google Home on your phone, so you could effectively be sat on your sofa, check various things about the car, such as the doors are locked or the windows are shut, things like that, how much fuel you got, or program in the sat nav and send it direct to the car. Easy peasy. I like how the load cover is super light without feeling cheap. Look, 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 no problem at all. The best, I can't believe I just did that, it's weird. Anyway, the best bit is this though, look, it fits underneath there. Oh yeah! If you want to personalise your Juke, you can get it with optional 2-tone roof schemes. There's 3 different colours, black, red or silver. And when you combine that with the available main body colours with a 2-tone scheme, there's actually 15 different combinations. Just like on a full-size SUV, the doors extend quite low down, so they cover most of the sill, so this bit doesn't get dirty, which means you shouldn't get the backs of your trousers covered in muck when you're getting in and out of the car, and it's horrible like today. The engine choice for the Nissan Juke is rather simple right now, because at the moment you can only get it with this engine, which is a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol. It has 117 horsepower, which is good for 0-60 in just over 10 seconds. It's quick enough, and you can get it with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic. So this particular car is the range-topping Techno Plus, and if I put the details into the carwow configurator, the list price is 23,800, but I've got an offer back for 21,800. Now, rather than check out the configurator, you can do if you want to go build your own car. If you click on the pop-out banner up there, I've actually got the hottest deal right now on carwow for the new Nissan Juke. So if you want to, go check it out. As you'd imagine, this little Nissan Juke is pretty easy to drive around town. The brakes, they're good. The clutch, easier to use. The gear shift, a little bit notchy, but it's fine. Though really, if you're doing lots of town work, I get the automatic, which I think is a bit better. What's not so great though is the fact the suspension does feel a touch on the firm side, so you do feel bumps a little bit more than in a Peugeot 2008. And if you click up there, you can check out my review of that very car. Still, it's not terrible, and the firmer suspension does give the car a bit of a sporty feeling, even though it isn't actually really all that sporty. Another thing that's annoying in town is the small back window, which can be a bit of a pain when you're parking. Though, if you've got a reversing camera, not such an issue. One thing that is good about this Juke though is that you do sit higher than in other small SUVs, so it does feel like you're actually in an SUV rather than just a tallish hatchback, and I like that about it. So if you're looking for one of these cars for that very reason, definitely check out this Juke. Now, as you get out on the motorway, the car's pretty decent actually. The suspension feels a bit better when you're going quicker. Also, these seats are lovely and comfortable, and it's reasonably quiet, apart from a bit of road noise from those large alloy wheels. What's not so great though when you're going quickly is the engine. So it's all right, but when you're trying to overtake on the motorway, it does run out of puff. So I'm doing 60 now in fourth, I'm flooring it. Come on, let's get to 70. Come on, little Juke, come on, you can do it. You were there, finally. So yeah, not the quickest, but then that's to be expected with 1 litres, isn't it? As for how this car handles when you reach a twisty road, it's fine. It doesn't feel particularly fun, but it's secure enough. It's not going to topple off the road. It is front wheel drive only, but really that doesn't matter at all. It's more than up to the task of taking you around corners as fast as you're ever going to want to in a car such as this. Overall, it's more than adequate to drive. It's just not a class leader. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Nissan Juke? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it, or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Juke. It's not perfect, but it's got bags of style and character, which is quite unusual with these small SUVs. In fact, I like it so much, I'm going to be recommending one to my mother. Do you agree with my verdict? Let me know in the comments section. Also, please subscribe to this channel for more videos. And if you click on the deals box to the right, you can see how much you can save on a new car at CarWow. Or click on the video windows below to watch another of my videos.